Italy. Europe. Haven't visited in 30 years. I know it is customary for an elder to give fledglings an introduction to the world of the kindred. Unfortunately, you'll have to make do with me. You know me already. I'm Justice. It's not my real name, but I'm not sure that is important to anyone anymore. It certainly isn't for me. Mahmoud, my sire, gave me the nickname. At first just to mock me, then to keep me on the path, as he used to say. Eventually, I embraced it. It's what drives me, and it's only natural that I identify with it completely. I, like you, am a child of Hakim. Our services were called for at times by the New York kindred lords, but mostly we followed our own agenda. We killed for the greater good, and we kept to ourselves, amongst the ancient texts and relics he had found over the centuries. And then he was killed. One of his most prized relics was stolen. I inquired among the Camarilla, but no one offered any help, too busy playing their own power games. That's when he contacted me. Said someone in the Hecata was behind it. That if I wanted justice, I should go to Venice.
Your local leaders, they're afraid to stir the pot. Maybe something unseemly floats to the surface. It's all politics, of course. Why commit to something today that might bite you in the ass tomorrow?
Venice, Italy. There was an Nosferatu waiting for me there. Below ground. Someone that could help me. But Kaiser said he did have an agenda of his own. There was no love between me and my sire. Every fucking sunrise I cursed him for the life he gave me. But he was right about one thing. The guilty must be punished. I knew that someone had to pay. And a Nosferatu named Pietro would lead me toward them.
Maybe you can find a way to help each other. Oh, and if you make it back, do remember who gave you the tip. Now that I've scratched your back, maybe you can scratch mine.
The rain had been pouring down for months and had just let up. The whole city was breathing a collective sigh of relief. It was cold and humid, but I felt something else in the air too. Something unnatural. Like the city itself was trying to keep me away. I was away on a job. When I got back, I went, as always, to deliver my report to Mahmoud. I found him in his apartment. Dry collection of skin and bones. Someone had rammed a stake through his heart, nailed him to the floor, and cut off his head. The place had been torn apart. Someone had been searching for something specific. Eventually, I realized what was missing. A Venetian statuette Mahmoud had brought to the States when he left the Alamut. I thought I would be free of his influence, but I was wrong. I couldn't let his murder go. Couldn't let this theft go unpunished. I had to find who did this and bring them to justice. There was something in the air. Something uncanny. The opposition I faced was far stronger than it should be. Mere mortals shouldn't have put me in actual danger. We've had many names. Assassins, lawmen, Assamites. But we are really all just children of Hakim. I tend to think about us as the people who balance the scales.
I'm the one you look. Welcome to my humble haven. I've been waiting for you. I am Pietro. Your contact must have mentioned me. I think you and I can strike a beneficial agreement.
Yeah, your name was mentioned. It took me a while to get here, but I'd like to learn how you can help me.
I have good information for you, which I'll happily share if you help me with a certain task. Quid pro quo.
Just tell me what you know about the attack on Mahmoud. We'll start there.
Things have been stirring here these last couple of months. There is unrest in the Hekata ranks, a conflict brewing between the local lords. And I suspect you and your sire ended up in the crossfire. The corpse fuckers are searching far and wide for relics of a certain origin. I guess your sire didn't want to give theirs up. Luckily, your search to find the killer crosses paths with my own investigation. I've collected my thoughts for you on the table over there. In Venice, the Hekata have their fingers in everything. The mortals might not know it, but they are everywhere. They might delude themselves and call this a city of love. But those of us who live in the shadows know better. As with any organization that grows too big, it eventually becomes unwieldy. The same goes for the Hekata. I think our best bet is to find a way in via Elena Giovanni. She is not all there, shall we say. In my dealings with the local underclass of kindred help, I have often interacted with a man named Lorenzo. He will be easy to lean on for information, and rumor has it, he is in possession of something really juicy regarding our friend Elena. I would start by finding him. Suggest it's in his best interest to let us partake of that information. He usually hangs out at Campo San Antonio.
I need to become stronger to be able to face my enemy. They are more powerful than I expected. I had assumed that the group of pale-faced freaks who ran this part of the city were just like any other kindred. That they would put themselves first, and when they had a goal in mind, they would step on whoever needed stepping on to reach it. I was both right and wrong. The Hecata were a family bound to each other with ties deeper than any other kindred I'd ever met. While those ties could be stretched, it would be very hard to make them snap. I was heading towards the haunts of Lorenzo, a weak-minded thug who worked for Anna and Rosa, ghoul attendants to Elena Giovanni. He could be our way into the organization. Pietra had leaned on him before and assured me he would break easily. Now, I just had to find him.
If I close my eyes, I can still feel the sea breeze of the Trieste of my youth, and the scent of seaweed drying in the sun. I was born there, in a merchant family in 1758. I grew up, I fell in love, married, and had two wonderful daughters.
So, did you get your delivery done last night?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Keep on getting the work done, you know?
He taught me everything about the kindred. Their ways, their follies, their weaknesses. Mahmoud was a scholar, a historian, a collector, charting the pursuit of justice over the centuries. He was a cruel teacher, and it wasn't long before I regretted joining him. But I was trapped now in this afterlife. I took comfort in knowing that the mission would go on, that justice would prevail. We stayed out of the Camarilla machinations, their petty conflict with the anarchs. Our services were called on from time to time, but mostly we were left alone.
What's
That was about to change.
You don't look like you're from around here. Did Pietro send you?
What's it to you? You have something I want.
If you want it, you are going to have to pay for it.
I really don't have time for this. Tell me what you have, and then we'll talk about compensation.
It's a phone. Anna and Rosa are talking, and oh shit! You're one of them. Oh, get away from me! Oh, fuck this!
Someone once in a while told me. It's quiet here. Just the usual rats scurrying about.
Please, don't hurt me. Why are you doing this?
You have something I need. And then, you ran.
It's a phone. I tapped into Rosa's line and got them talking about stuff they shouldn't. It's right there. Just take it, my friend. I don't want anything to do with your kind.
My kind?
Look, my friend, I haven't seen anything, okay? I'm blind. Not gonna say a word to anyone.
What else do you know about us?
Nothing. I swear.
Really? I think you've seen way more than you're supposed to.
Well, I mean, Pietro, it's obvious that there is something off about him.
You've seen way too much. Give me one reason why I shouldn't just end you. Right now.
I found this painting, you know, one Pietro made. It's titled Daughter, and I had it valued, and it's over 200 years old. I don't want it anymore. You take it. Just take the phone, my friend. Just take it and leave. I'm getting out of town.
Yeah? What do you want? I'm just calling to see how you feel today, sister. That was quite a beating you took. Next time it's gonna be your turn. You know how she is. Or maybe she just likes me more. Fuck you. Yeah, I know. We should do something about it. We really fucking should. So what do you propose? I don't know. Knock her over the head and tie her up somewhere so she gets a real good look at the sunrise, maybe. That would be glorious. I'm serious. We need to do something about her. Maybe we should talk to Tommaso. He could set her straight, if he wanted to. We should probably not talk about this over the phone.
You've brought the phone, I see. Let's make sure we don't waste any time.
They sure don't like their boss. What should we do with this information?
We could just share it, but where's the fun in that? Better to make sure it is found when we get the most bang for the proverbial buck.
And how do you propose we do that?
Rosa has her headquarters in an old bar. You should hide the phone in their office, somewhere no one will find it until we want them to.
And then we wait.
Yes. And then we wait. While you were out and about, I picked up a thing I think you will enjoy. You can find it over there.
Pietro was turning out to be somewhat of a decent guy. I'd met worse Kindred, and definitely worse Nosferatu during my time in New York. He had described a period of captivity to me. Years spent starving in a moldy cell below ground, slowly going insane. He talked about the family his captors had killed, their lives taken for no reason but to torment him. I'm not a nostalgic person, but his tale stirred something deep inside me. He yearned for justice. I was actually happy that I could help.
That can't be real.
The plan was to hide the phone with the incriminating message somewhere inside Rosa's rundown old bar. Trouble was, Pietro had no absolute location. Something was making him forget. His head had been tampered with, but I was beginning to suspect there was more to it. Mortal Venetians shunned some areas in Venice like the plague. I could feel an oppressive force in the air, like it was cursed. It made ordinary people turn away and left the Hecata to do their business undisturbed.
You'll come across a construction site swarming with thugs. Use your powers of persuasion to get them to talk.
There was shame, of course, and regret. I knew it wasn't right. I tried to stop, but I couldn't. I took comfort in knowing that I was alone in this. Nobody was watching. Not when I stabbed my victims, or afterwards. I was crying in bed. But someone was watching. The shadow entered my life in 1995. The cops had set a trap. I was cornered and bleeding out. This was it. Then something swooped down from the rooftops in a flurry of blows, cracked bones, and screams. Mahmoud presented himself. He was a child of Hakim and gave me a choice. Drink from his blood and follow him, or die in that alley and let the failed system win. The choice was easier than you think.
Something's definitely. Can you see them? Yeah. Someone said they saw a monster. I told them to lay off drinking. Keep your guard up. Report back to me if you see anything suspicious. Not sure how.
These nights, I find it harder and harder to keep the beast at bay. It would be so easy to give in to its calling. The one thing that keeps me sane is the urge to get revenge on whoever did this to me and my family. The list of suspects is long, but I have narrowed it down to a branch of the local Akata. Members of the Giovanni family. I was contacted by a Nosferatu from New York. He told me about a Banu Hakim called Justice. They will be arriving in Venice soon. He told me our paths must cross. We have, he says, a common enemy.
Get the... Didn't you hear what I said? I told you to leave. All the gates are locked.
You need to open this door right now.
And why should I do that? Because you ask nicely?
Because if you don't, I'll make things very uncomfortable for you.
You don't scare me.
That's because I haven't done anything to scare you yet. Are you sure you want that?
Shit. I didn't mean anything by it. Just go through this door here. There are people on the other side who will look less kindly on you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
My life is a long, recurring nightmare. Every night is the same. Tommaso breathing down my neck. Anna and Rosa bitching on repeat. This hunger that rips me apart from the inside. There are too many voices to listen to. Too many voices that all clamor for my attention.
And load it.
All I want is to close my eyes and shut the din out.
Yeah, someone said they saw a monster. I told them to lay off drinking. Still no visual. they'd never seen anyone move that fast. It's quiet here now. That could change at any minute. Yeah, I'll take a look over here. No!
Sign of the intruder.
Joe, we're ready to roll.
What the fuck are you looking at?
Nothing, I was just...
Do you think these scars look funny? Do I amuse you?
I'm sorry, I just came in here to...
I bet you're smiling under that stupid fucking mask. Maybe I should give you something you really need to hide under it.
Please don't.
Just get the fuck out of here.